What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time. DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Make your next thing a big one. Today on the program, oh my goodness, my loyal listeners, if you've been listening for a while, you know this next name, Alyssa Marie Coon, singer, songwriter, sensation. And she's still so very young. My goodness. She's on the program today. Now, I know you've heard a lot of her story on the last time when she was a wee 15, but now she's 17, and she's going to tell you what's going on in the world of Alyssa Marie Coon. So stick around. This week's shows, I have one public show. Ooh, it's going to be a big weekend, though. I have one public show, my regular Friday night gig at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. Yeah, I said karaoke. We got a little concert starring each and every one of you. You could sing pretty much whatever you want. If it's out there on karaoke, I got it, or I'll get it. It's my job. And, of course, I'll be playing some background music. Oh, this week, well, if you're listening to this thing as it comes out, it's 80s night on Friday night. Yeah, they sprung this on me about a month ago. I was playing a bunch of 80s music, and then the bartender said, hey, why don't we have an 80s night? I said, well, I'm having an 80s night right now. And they said, well, do it July 1st. So July 1st is 80s night. And if you're listening to this afterwards, still, Friday nights at the Rab, I'll probably be there. That's my usual Friday night gig, the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM. Full bar, kitchen, pool tables. They got a pool tournament on Friday nights. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're doing it, you can get out to the Rab, Conway, Arkansas. Come out, be there, hang with your friends. And since it is the 4th of July weekend, I have a Independence Day party on Saturday in Greenbrier, Arkansas, and then another one on Sunday in Hot Springs, Arkansas. But unless you're invited, you cannot come. So there. I only mention it because I'm excited. I got some parties with the people. I'm so glad I still get to do this job, entertaining the people. Speaking of entertaining the people, let's get into it with singer-songwriter sensation Alyssa Marie Coon. I got her on Skype, so if you're listening to the audio version, I encourage you to check out the video version on my YouTube page, youtube.com/user/KeysDan. Skyping Alyssa Marie Coon now.
There we go.
Yeah, now we're just on the phone.
Thank you. Sorry.
Perfect. There she is, Alyssa Marie Coon. Oh my goodness, it has been years since last we spoke. I think it was I don't even have to think. I know it was March of 2020. You were but a 15-year-old lass, a girl next door with 3 songs out there in the world, 3 original songs out there in the world for the people to hear. The first song, I remember, it was about treating people right. It was about making sure that when you say you're going to be someplace, you be someplace. Particularly boyfriends, when they say, hey, let's go out to the local arcade and watch some Nickelodeon movies. Put a nickel in the old Nickelodeon and watch some of those flicker reels. You know, I think I'm going back to the 1920s, but that's a whole nother story. But a lot has happened since then. This is years later. Fasting forward, break it fasting forward. I guess to give a hint on what's going on. Alyssa Marie Coon, what's been happening in the last 3 years or so?
A lot, actually. I've been releasing new music, and a music video, and I've been performing a lot and performing all around. And yeah, I've just been doing it. I've just been doing the same thing, I guess.
Well, at 15 years old, you were already 8 years into the performing thing. You had started at 7 years old, doing a little cover, for the people, and letting people, having people cry and say, "Oh, that is so beautiful. That is so cute." 7 years old, I can't believe it. Fast forward to 15, you're writing your own songs. Fast forward to now, you don't have just 3 songs. You have so many songs that are out there. I mean, tell people about the new stuff that you've been doing since. I guess you had opened for Trace Adkins at that point, and that was pretty cool in itself. But what have you done since then?
Well, I've just been doing it. I just released my most recent single, I guess we should talk about, which is called Break It Fast. And I actually have the acoustic version coming out tonight on music platforms, which is pretty exciting too. But I've just been traveling back and forth to Nashville, just recording. The last time I was up there, I filmed a music video, which is now playing at all of the Ole Red, because Ole Red featured me as Artist of the Month. And if you don't know what Ole Red is, it's actually Blake Shelton's restaurant. There's one in Nashville, there's one in Oklahoma, there's one in Pigeon Forge, and now Orlando. But they are building some more, which I heard about.
Well,
so I'm really excited.
That's quite a drive. Even when I lived in Miami, and I used to go to Orlando quite a bit to go to Disney World and what have you, it's quite a drive from West Palm Beach, where you are, to Orlando. That's about three or 4 hours, right, to get there, but totally worth it, I'm sure.
Yes, it's totally worth it. I literally live out of my car. like not actually, but I don't know, either my car or my parents' car. If you go in my car, it's like a wardrobe is in the back of my car. And but I don't mind it. I love being busy and I love traveling. So it kind of all works out.
Well, that's so right. Okay. Since you were 15 last time we talked, now you drive. You have your own car. You're a veteran driver. Are you a good driver?
I think I am a good driver. I haven't, knock on wood. I haven't got anything, but I don't want to jinx myself.
Well, you have your own car. What kind of car did you get?
2020 Toyota RAV4.
Wow. Now that's a car. If you're going to live out of a car, you might as well live out of a RAV4. That's a fantastic vehicle.
I love my car so much. I have a sticker on the back of my car from the Nash collection. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's this brand that's very popular in Nashville. And so the last time I was there, I got a sticker, and it just says Nash, and I put it on the back of my car, and now all my friends call it the Nashmobile because, it looks like the name would be Nash. So my car's name is Nash.
Okay, well, we already discussed that you take little trips, little jaunts to Orlando. That's about 3 or 4 hours away. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but what's the furthest you've been in that RAV4?
I haven't made it out of the state yet, so probably just Orlando. I guess that's probably the farthest.
Well, I remember the first big purchase that I made on my own. I used to ride motorcycles. Don't ride motorcycles because I got in a wreck, and then the money that I got from insurance bought me a Mustang, and I drove from Miami to Louisiana in that Mustang convertible, and that was like a 1,000-mile trip. So that's a pretty good clip, and I did it all by myself, and I played my music CDs and such. I wish I would have had an Alyssa Marie Coon's CD, but all I remember was playing a CD. It was called the Cars Greatest Hits, and it was a band called the Cars, and it was for the life of me, I don't know why that was the only CD that was playing over and over, but it was great driving music. When you're driving to Orlando, to Ole Red, which I see when I'm looking at your social media, I see it all the time. It feels like you live at Ole Red, and that seems to be your home away from home. But when you're going on those trips, what are you listening to on the music box?
It all differs, honestly. It depends on, so my music that I listen to, it differs on what mood I'm in. So most of the time going to Ole Red, I'm listening to Nirvana or Seattle grunge or pop punk music for some reason. I don't know. I really love that genre. Or I'm listening to the highway, which is most of the time, especially when I'm with my dad, because we listen to the highway together. So it's country, obviously. And then on the way back, since usually it's very late, I turn on the old show tunes from Hannah Montana, because I still watch Hannah Montana. I will never stop watching Hannah Montana. My band and I have this joke, sometimes they come over to my house late at night if they're traveling, and then they'll stay over and they'll come in my room and take videos of me, and I'll be asleep and Hannah Montana will be playing. And they're like, this girl is literally 5. But yeah, so I listen to the whole Hannah Montana soundtrack.
Well, I mean, the last time we talked, we established you were a believer, a big Justin Bieber fan. And at 15, I guess quite a few years ago, Justin Bieber was at the height of his powers, really. And I guess he had a little trouble here and there, but still, got to believe in the Biebs. But you say, who would be your ride or die music wise? If there was a concert coming and it was between going to that concert or having dinner that night, whose concert would you skip dinner for?
100%.
I missed it. It cut out.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Tay-Tay.
100%.
Oh,
yes.
For sure. If there's anyone to skip a meal for, it's Taylor Swift. Man, that's a girl that has not only done every bit of music the way she wanted to. She broke away from people that were trying to tell her what to do. And, telling her, oh, on this next album, you need to have 2 of this type of song and at least 1 of that type of song. And you should write songs about this. And we have all your masters now, so we control you. And then she, being the business part of the music business, she made her own masters, remastered her own songs, redid it. This is something to emulate. And she seems like a nice person. After everything, she seems like a nice person still. Is that what you see in her and you want to emulate maybe, or you want to, tell me why Tay-Tay?
I love everything about her. I love what she did there. I also love how she's so strong. I don't know. She's just a very strong woman, and I don't know how to explain it. She just gives off this level of confidence, but that she could probably be really down to earth. I don't know. I also just think she's so talented, and nobody is ever gonna stop her. I know so much about her. She even sued someone for $1 one time, because I'm not gonna get into it, but it's just she knew she didn't need the money, but she just wanted to prove that she was right. So why not sue him for $1? I don't know. I think she's such what they would call a girl boss. If I'm using that slang correctly. She's just I don't know. She's just great. I love her.
Well, Alyssa Marie, I could see the parallels between you and her, and there are some similarities. I mean, besides the blonde hair and the singing talent, the grabbing a guitar, that's one thing. But the song styles, the material that you write about, she writes a lot about relationships, and you write a lot about relationships. These are things that can be related to people pursuing happiness. The first song we already went through, it was, if you're going to be somewhere, if you say you're going to be somewhere, be there. be there for somebody. It's not just boyfriend, girlfriend. It's also best friends. It's also friends. You know, if a friend tells you, hey, meet me at this place at this time, you better by goodness be there at that place at that time, or at least make a phone call to let them know, hey, plans have changed a little bit. Let's move over there. Don't just go off and play video games with your other friends and leave me out here in the lurch, out here in the cold, wondering, hey, where are you at? Are you okay? I mean, do I have to call the cops? What's going on? You know, but you know, it's relationships. And yeah, I mean, that song, to be a first offering, and then fast forward to this Break It Fast is, I mean, you explain it. I've heard the song. I love the song. I love that it's, if you're going to break my heart. Well, go ahead. Tell people what Break It Fast is about.
Okay. So, at the time I had just had to break up with someone that I had been dating for a really long time. And I know that seems like crazy because, like, obviously I'm 17 now. And so that would have meant that I started dating a person when I was 15. So yes, that's true. And I really cared about that person, and like, I was really sad that I had to do that, but like, things weren't working out, and like, I wasn't happy, and it was nothing against them. I couldn't do it anymore. And so I had to break their heart. And what I realized was there's not any songs really where it's like, I'm the bad guy. Like, I had to break someone's heart. It's usually like, oh, someone broke my heart, or like, I'm so in love with this person. And which is not a bad thing, because like, yes, I could totally relate to all those songs, but I wanted to kind of write the song about having to be the bad guy, but like, knowing that like, you didn't want to do it intentionally. And so I went into a co-write. I think it might have been I can't remember. I think it was like a couple days after it happened. And I told the Steel Ivory girls who I wrote the song with, about like everything going on. And I had said like we were dating for a year and a half, and like, I just kept saying things, and they're like, oh, that's good. And so I like started playing the guitar, and then like, that's where everything came out. And everything in that song is like 100% true. Like, there's not one song that I've released like yet that I think I relate to as much as this song. Not that all of my songs, not that I can't relate to any of my songs, but this one was like the most realist one to me, besides from the one I'm putting out at the end of this year. But yeah. Sorry.
No, and it's funny that, you know, the last time that we spoke, you had written a song with the girls from Steel Ivory, and then here you are writing this song with the girls from Steel Ivory. Have you been collaborating with them a lot?
Actually, I love them so much. Like, they're the sweetest, like, most down-to-earth, humble girls ever. Like, just when we get in there, it's like we like, I don't know, just the ideas and like everything flows. And most of the time we do it on Zoom or Skype or something, and it's not in person. And usually sometimes when that's going on during like co-writes or something, sometimes the connection isn't there. Like, not the Wi-Fi, but like the connection, because it's like hard because you're speaking like to a person on a screen. But like, since we had met before in Nashville, and like we get along so well, so that's what I love most about them. And plus, they are very talented. Like, they're some of the most talented people I know. So it's awesome to be able to have them help me and like write with me. So.
Oh, for sure. But you know, we talked about social media and how that helps in your everyday when you post things. And I noticed that they post and you post. There's always songs coming through my feed. People are always going to remember you. I know that. All right, I use my social media. You'll hardly ever see anything about my family on there. It's all business. It's all, you know, where I'm going to be, what's my next show. And I see it's very similar for you. Every once in a while, I will see. And for the people that think, oh, she started dating at 15. Well, just know that your parents are always in the mix. I'm sure that Jill and Randy have been hovering over you and keeping a chaperone an eye on you as things progress. But hey, but I mean, tell me how are Randy and Jill doing?
Great. We're just, it's summer for me, so we're like hanging out a lot and like, especially those gigs, like usually, well, I hardly ever go to a gig alone, so I'm always spending time with them, like, especially driving too. I know that seems like, oh, like we were just together when we were in the car, but no, it's a lot of time in the car, so it's like I spend a lot of time with them. So, and they're the most supportive parents in the world, and I wouldn't be able to do this without them. So, even if we get in our little normal teenager parent arguments, like they still mean the world to me, which those do happen.
Well, that's good.
Sometimes I do get bratty.
Well, that's good quality time. When you spend hours in the car. Yeah, I mean, some of that time you might be listening to music on your headphones or trying to, wind down or even pick up. You kind of meditate before a show. I don't know. What is your strategy before you do a big show? It doesn't even have to be at Ole Red. Any of the shows. Do you meditate? Do you listen to songs? Do you how does Alyssa Marie Coon prepare for a show?
Usually, like, that's the thing. The whole thing with me is the kind of music I listen to going to it. So whatever mood I'm in, like, it has to be music that's going to pump me up. And then usually I go to the bathroom, like, before the show, even if I don't have to use the bathroom. Sorry if that's TMI. And I just sit in there and okay, like, I'm going to do this and everything. And I look in the mirror and I'm like, you got this. And then I go out and do it. So if you ever see me before one of my shows and I disappeared, I'm probably in the bathroom looking in the mirror, telling myself, you got this.
Well, that's good for the stage manager to know, because I'm sure if the stage manager's listening, that's the one that's supposed to get the artist from wherever they are and make sure that they're on stage at the right time. And I'm sure you've dealt with a lot of stage managers. I've been a stage manager before, as well as I think the biggest show I was the MC and the stage manager, where I had to MC, say a few words, and then I had to make sure that the artist was where they're supposed to be. That was nerve-wracking, to be sure. But it amazes me how people pick themselves up. Some people like it real quiet. Give me 5 minutes of quiet. And I guess that's where you're going to the restroom or the green room, wherever the ready room is. You take a little time to have some quiet and just prepare yourself. Maybe a mirror, look at yourself. You can do this. Do you worry before every show?
I never worry, actually. Like, I never really get nervous, and I don't know why, but I just feel so comfortable on the stage, like, no matter how many people are there. The only time I really get nervous is when it's like a room full of people that I know. Meaning if all my friends like randomly came to my gig one day and they were all like watching me, I would be a little bit nervous. I don't know why it works like that, but I'd rather perform in front of like 10,000 people I don't know than 10,000 people I do know. So
no, that makes perfect sense. It's like you're going to see these people every day, and they're the ones. Oh my goodness, I have to perform for that person that I'm going to see every day, and maybe I'll miss a note, and maybe they'll tell me about it, or hopefully they don't tell you about all the bad things that you do and just tell you overall you did great, you did wonderful. I loved it the way you did that with that song and the way you carried that note. Oh my goodness! But I mean, have you had an experience where there's people that you know and then they come at you afterwards and they give you some kind of either constructive or deconstructive criticism?
I feel like there has been, but I'm all up for constructive criticism, obviously, because like maybe something I'm doing is a little weird, and if that's like something I didn't notice, I would love to be told that. But anybody that's like throwing me like deconstructive criticism, I'm just like, whatever, man. Like I don't know. I really try to brush that off because it's not like it's like one person's opinion, and it's not like the whole internet or something like that is like really bothersome unless it is. So I try to just brush it off. But I love constructive criticism though. Like I love hearing feedback. So.
Well, I mean, I like your singing style. Let's talk about that. The first time that we spoke, I noticed that you had a really breathy, it sounded like you had wind. You had air for days. Because when you speak, or at least when you spoke, it may not be coming through this well because our connection is not great. But, I think people are going to get the gist of it. But the last time that we spoke, I remember that you had a really it felt like you had air for days. And have you been working on that? Is that a singing exercises that gives you the ability, the capacity to hold notes for a long time? Were you training that way, and have you been training?
I have. I've been working with my lovely vocal coach. She's from Nashville. And like I realized that I had been singing the wrong way, and I also have a ton of allergies, which also contributes to that. Like if you notice today, I have a little bit of a scratchy throat. That's because I was around dogs, and I'm actually allergic to dogs. So I also have dogs, which isn't good. So I'm on like so much allergy medication. But so figuring that out, like I'm on allergy meds, like I'm constantly drinking a ton of water. Like, your voice is your instrument, which is something like a 15-year-old doesn't really know. And so, like, of course I would be out with my friends at 15 screaming and like, oh my God, there's a cute boy. Like, I'm screaming, like, not that I'm much older now, but it's like, and also I did grow 2 years, which is a lot in, the aspect of me in my vocal cords maturing. So that's another thing, like my voice changed, which for a second there I was singing so low, and now like I notice my voice is getting higher. But yeah, I mean, it's all in how you take care of your voice and how you sing properly. And yeah, I'm glad that I was able to figure that out. But you're the first person that has said something to me besides like people that I've talked to that about. So it's funny that you noticed this too.
Oh yeah, I noticed things like that. And well, from 15 to 17, you say you grew a lot. Yeah, these are the dog years. Everybody grows between 14 and 18. It's at least 7 years every year, because I mean, you imagine I was a twerp at 12, 13 years old, and by 18 I was huge, so I mean, especially with boys, but with girls, same thing. You grow inches taller, your voice changes. I noticed, this is the other thing, is the way you use your voice, the way you use the shape of your mouth. It kind of, man, it reminds me, it's so amazing when you watch the videos, you watch the live performances that you put out there. You have this way of making your mouth into like a cone that lets it project. It's just you use the shape that it's so amazing that you project that well. Is this something that you've been taught, or is this something that you've been working on as well?
I mean, kind of. I actually have TMJ in my jaw, so I probably shouldn't say this now because everybody's going to notice, but my jaw actually goes to the left. So if you ever look in my videos, like I posted one on TikTok yesterday, and like it was really noticeable, and I was really trying not to get it to go that way. But anyways, so it had been hard for me for a long time to open my mouth because of what is going on in my jaw, but I've been working on it a lot. Like there's different jaw exercises and stuff. And I also realized, in the studio last year when I was recording my singles Real Good Night and Put It Down, I have a really good friend named Maggie Ball, who I actually co-wrote those two songs with. I don't know if you're familiar with her. But she was in the studio, like helping me, like kind of being like my vocal consultant. and she would just scream at me. She'd be like, open your mouth, open your mouth. Like, it's not hard. Like, it's harder when you don't open your mouth. And ever since then, like, I could picture her screaming it at me. And it's just like, why didn't I do that before? Like, it's so much easier when I actually open my mouth. So, I mean, that's another thing that stuck with me too. Like, she wasn't mean. Like, we're out of love, like, we're good friends. But, I don't know, like, just opening your mouth is a big thing to singing. I guess,
Well,
push.
Well, Alyssa Marie, I mean, whatever you're doing, it's working for you. I mean, there was times when the great Barbra Streisand and Barry Manilow, they told them, hey, you need to get a nose job because your nose is kind of big. Well, it was going to affect their singing, so they didn't do it. And look how far they went. They got huge, as huge as their noses are purported to be. Okay, so don't change a thing. Is TMJ? Is it hurting you? Is it? I'm not familiar with the. Is there problems with it? Like, does it affect you opening your mouth or chewing?
So I don't know like all the technical stuff about it. My mom is in the dental field though, so she knows all about the stuff with the jaw and like whatever. But it does hurt like if I open my mouth to a certain extent, and like also like it was popping like out. I don't know. It like hurts like a lot sometimes, but just like doing the exercises and stuff is like basically the only thing that can help now. But eventually, like it's something that I could grow out of. I think I'm not sure, but hopefully, because it's annoying. Especially when not a lot of people notice it, but like sometimes people do point it out. That's I guess that's under like the criticism thing. They're like, why do you go like? And I'm like, it's not my fault. Like, I can't control it. But I don't let that bother me because there's nothing I can do about it. So.
I think it's great.
Everybody's going to notice.
I think it's great. My goodness. I don't change a thing. I think it's great. It's a style. It's a mannerism. It's a quality that you have. I mean, what was it? Jennifer Grey got a nose job and it ruined her acting career completely. She changed the best thing about her. You watch Dirty Dancing and she's so cute with a cute little nose, and her agent said, oh, you need to change that and you'll get better roles. Nothing. Dried right up. So, I appreciate, and that my loyal listener should appreciate that you sacrifice your body. You go through pain for your craft, for your artistry. The people now they need to appreciate you even more. Not only out there singing your heart out, singing some covers, but a lot of original songs. I mean, what's the ratio now between covers and originals when you go to an Alyssa Marie concert?
Sometimes it depends, but it's like about 50%, like 50-50. Yeah.
That's pretty good. I mean, you go to a show, you hire Alyssa Marie for your party, to fill up your venue, and she's going to give you 50-50. And these original songs written and penned at least partially by you, if not mostly by you. That's amazing at 17 years old to have that kind of a catalog already. How many? Okay, but the 3 songs from 2 years ago have now grown to how many songs do you have out there that you've given to the world?
I actually don't know off the top of my head because I have so many like songs that I have that like no one's ever heard. And so I can't even keep track anymore, but I know that there's a way to find out how many I've released. But I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, I mean, the last time that we talked, when I was asking a similar question, you said that you had songs that were in notebooks. Some of them were half finished. Some of them didn't have hooks, didn't have bridges, didn't have melodies. But there's a lot a lot of half songs that are out there, ideas and things that could be molded and shaped into songs. So, Alyssa Marie, you have so much material that needs to get out there to the world. Are you still working with, you were working with one studio before. I can't remember who it was, but are you working with any particular studio nowadays?
Yes, well, to record, you're
Yes.
talking about?
Yes.
Yes, I'm working with Saxman Studios out of Nashville, Tennessee. They are amazing guys. Like, I love them all so much. They are like that. They are some talented people right there, and they know exactly. I go in, I do it, I watch them, and then I do my end, and it's like crazy. Like how I don't know how they do it. Like they're awesome stuff.
Now, is it that you're having to drive to Nashville, or are you able to record some things closer to home and then send them via the internet, or you go into Nashville every time you want to record, you know, a solid song, you're ready to do one?
Usually go to Nashville to do that. Like, just because, like, it's just, you know, it's the experience that, like, I feel like I need to have to record. Like, I don't know, it's weird. But usually, like, it also gives me time. Like, I don't just jump. Like, when I have a song that I really want to record, I don't, like, go straight to Nashville to record it. Like, usually there's a set date for me to go to Nashville, and then by then I'm deciding which songs I'm going to record. So.
No, I'm sure, you know, the time, it's costly, you know, to go and get that studio time. So you have to be prepared. So as an artist, you as a business person, knowing the business, and, you know, I'm guessing that Jill is still your momager, you know, and she's still handling getting your bookings and such. But I remember that last time we talked, I think I said Nashville might be the place you ought to be. Do you ever consider, like, after you're done with high school, and I mean, are you planning to go to college after all that's said and done, heading to Nashville?
Yes, I'm planning on going to college and Nashville. We're not really sure the exact plan right now, so but it's something that I have to decide really soon. So I'm still trying to but I will be in Nashville within the next 2 years. So.
Okay, well, I mean, we're talking about college. You know, a lot of people think you go to college, you get yourself a little degree, you got that piece of paper that makes you a little bit more hireable. You know, you have that thing in your back pocket that parents are so proud of. You know, and they definitely want, and people are proud of themselves for accomplishing more than the minimum. The minimum is get through high school. That's the minimum. Okay, you can get some kind of a job with the minimum skills, but then you go to college. What do you want to be when you grow up? I mean, do you have any other interest besides music that maybe you're going to go to college for? And if you do go to college, what are you going to study in college?
College is definitely in my plan. So I would like to major in the music business. And yeah, I mean, just go from there. There's nothing in the world that like strikes my eye as much as music. So whether or not this whole thing works out, I still want to do something in music, like depending on what that could be. Like, I do have my own home studio. I know how to work the Pro Tools and Logic. I play a lot of different instruments, so that could be a fallback, or just even the music business, you know. So there's a lot of options, but of course, this is my first primary option. So we will see what it has in store.
Well, Alyssa Marie, that's very smart to learn about the business, music business, because a lot of people have the metaphor, I was eaten alive by the music business. You know, the suits got a hold of me and they took all my money, you know, and they left me bone dry. I've heard that before. Well, let's talk about the instruments. Last time we spoke, you were a classically trained pianist. You were getting into guitar. You were able to accompany yourself on guitar. We talked about the way you sing and play at the same time. If one falters the other while you're playing guitar, does it affect your singing? Or, and I think you came up with the idea that you're getting better at the ability to sing and play and still get those notes while you're playing. But then you had a drummer and a bassist that you were working with back then. I think it was maybe it's a couple of cousins or brothers that were farther north in Florida. Are you still working with them, or do you have a different band? Are you okay?
My drummer from back then, that was his cousin playing the bass for us. But now I still work with my drummer. He's basically like my ride or die. Like, he's literally like my brother. He's at my house more than I'm at my house at this point, honestly. But so we have him, and then actually my bass player, who is leaving me for college, which is really sad. So we are trying to figure that situation out right now. And then we have my electric guitar player, his name is Jackson. He's super talented. They're all super talented guys, and we're all like a little squad. I call them the Precious Boys for some reason. I said that at one gig, and then ever since then it's been fun. So, but yeah, that's basically it. It's just a group. We all have so much fun together. So.
Well, I mean, a little bit of a personnel change. I'm glad that the bassist is going off to college, bigger, better things. That's good. Always fill your brain with knowledge no matter what you do. Yes, this music thing, you're going at it gung ho. Now, last time we spoke, your axe of choice had switched from Martin to Taylor. Are you still using the Taylor acoustic guitar, or what's your weapon of choice?
100%. I don't know if when I spoke to you last I had gotten my new Taylor, but I recently got my dream guitar, which was the 814 CE, and it's the deluxe version. I actually got it for my 16th or 15th birthday. I got it for my 15th birthday, yes. And yeah. So I'm still playing that. I have two Taylors now. And I just got my dream electric guitar. I think it's behind me somewhere.
Yeah, I see a white electric guitar back there. What kind of?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, no, there's another electric. You have two electric guitars behind you. What are those?
This is a bass, actually. Oh my gosh, it's like inverted, so it's like weird.
Yeah.
That's a bass.
I see the bass.
And yes, and then this is a Nashville Telecaster, which I just recently got. I got this for my 17th birthday. I'm obsessed with that guitar.
I see a lot of country folks using that guitar. That is the go-to country electric guitar. You'd think it would be, a Les Paul maybe, but no, I see so many Telecasters used in country music. Why do you think that is?
Well, I love the fact that it has 3 pickups, and each is a different sound. So the first pickup is more like, you have a more like telly tone, and then the second is like in between. I can't remember what they call the second one, and then the third one is the more country, like Nashville twang version. So I could go from playing like, this is funny because I was just playing this song earlier, like Superstitious by Stevie Wonder, to playing like some like Jason Aldean, like twangy country song, like on that guitar, which is like really cool, especially depending on what kind of pedals you have. So I just love that. I love playing that guitar.
Well, that was the other thing that we spoke about too, that you stay in the country genre, but your last song, your third song at that time, was kind of a country pop. But then you just mentioned Superstition. Are you branching out? Are you breaking out? Because I think I told you could sing pretty much whatever you want with your voice, with your style, with your, you could sing anything you want. Are you breaking out into different genres of music, or are you still writing in the country genre?
Writing in like the country genre, of course, like the country pop. I don't know, because it's kind of weird, the genre that, like, I feel like my music falls under. Like, I noticed on Break It Fast, the Spotify always gives you, like playlists recommended from, like, what other people are listening to your song on or whatever. And it was all, like, folk, like, indie, like, genre, which I thought was weird, and then a lot of country playlists. I don't know, but at my shows, I throw Nirvana in there. I'm a big Nirvana fan. I love Kurt Cobain. So we do some rock covers, then the Cranberries, and we do some, like, other throwback songs too, like, and we go back to, like, old country, like Johnny Cash and, like, like John Denver. We do Country Roads, and, like, I don't know, it's, like, all around, but, like, country's my main, but we do throw other things in there sometimes.
Well, that's what you do. You give the people what they want. Give them a good mix. Don't hold them to one thing. Whenever I'm playing stuff on RadioWhat.com or whenever I'm playing stuff at a club, I don't stay with one genre. I mean, this Friday we have an 80s party, but 80s is, like that's back in the 1900s for you kids out there. Okay. But 80s, it's not just pop or rock or or like a, country. It's all of that. There's all types of different genres. And if you were born in the 80s or if you went to, say, you went to high school in the 80s, you have nostalgia for that genre. I imagine that when you grow up, when you get as old as I am, you get, and it's hard to imagine as a 17-year-old being in your 50s. You go, wow, 50s, that's so old. Oh my goodness, I'll never be 50.
Not old.
But
it's not old.
But when you go into your 50s, you're still going to love the music of the 2020s. I believe that this genre, that this era of music, wherever you graduate high school, that's the music that sticks with you. This is your formative years, the 2020s, the late teens to the early 2020s. Do you feel like this is going to be the music that defines you for the rest of your life?
I do believe so. I love the kind of music that's getting put out nowadays, and, like, I love all types of music. Like, I'm not just saying that, like, all types of music. Like, I could go from listening to like Metallica to, like, listening to, like, Taylor Swift's newer albums, like Evermore, Folklore, like, which is, like, more calm indie-ish vibes. Like, I don't know, I just love all types of music. Like, so I think that, like, hopefully more stuff will get created like that in the future, and that I'll be able to hold on to as I grow up too. But, I don't think I can ever forget the music I listen to now.
Yeah, you imagine that there's going to be people in old folks' homes that are listening to the type of music that you listen to right now. Imagine, I don't know, by the time you get old, it'll be 150 years into the future. People are going to be living to 200 years old, and you'll finally get into the old folks' home about 198. So when Alyssa Marie Coon is 198 years old, she's still listening to the music that's going on right now, today. All your pals are hanging with you, having, some kind of space mush, maybe living on Mars or whatever. Oh, this is great. Or maybe you have your summer home on Mars and your winter home is on the moon, but the future looks bright for you is what I'm saying. And I imagine we talked about, we talked about Beethoven and some of the people from history. And we kind of discussed, these songs have been around for hundreds of years, and they're still great. They still get played, and I hope nothing but that for you. That 500 years into the future, Alyssa Marie Coon songs are still being, remember that? Oh yeah, that was good. I wonder, man, when that first came out, they were jamming to Alyssa Marie Coon. I remember that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, no doubt, no doubt. And you're making your mark on the world. You're putting things out there. I mean, is there anything that you want to tell people as we wind this thing down? Is there something on your mind, about about the future, that has been weighing on you, or just something good that you're hopeful about the future? Anything.
Just never give up on your dreams. Like, I know that's so like cliche or whatever, but like it's true, because I believe like you can accomplish anything that you put your head to, even if sometimes like it doesn't go the way you wanted it to go. I think that it could have happened for a reason. So if you just, stick to it, put the work in, even like if you slack for a day, just put the work in. I think like you will be able to accomplish anything. And just also make sure that you love your loved ones, obviously, because they are the closest people to you besides yourself. So, just show them love, because you never know what's going to happen. So.
Well, I mean, I've been looking at you. That for people that are listening to the audio version of this, I want you to check out the video version. You're in this room. Is this your practice room? This doesn't look like a bedroom. And that drum set behind you, it's fascinating me. Have you been learning how to play drums, or is that somebody else that's using those?
I play the drums. I've been playing the drums for about like 6 years now, I guess. Or maybe like 5. Yeah, like 5-ish, like since I was like 12. And so yeah, that's my drum set. It's just an electronic kit. And we are in my music room right now, which just got redone. So there's stuff everywhere. And then beside me over here is a closet, which is my recording room. And there's a little studio set up in there with my microphone and everything. So I turned the closet into a studio room.
That's something that has been happening quite a bit. You find a space in your home, maybe a spare bedroom, and you turn it into a creative room, a creative space. People use it to paint, to write, to make movies or TikToks. I know we talked about TikTok before, and you have your own private little Snapchat with your friends. Is that something that's still going on? Tell me about how are you using social media these days, and are you handling it all yourself, or do you have people for that?
Currently handling all of my social media, which is sometimes a load of work. If you know me, you know how much I absolutely dislike social media. Like, I am so grateful to be able to have like social media, because social media does a lot for us. Honestly, like it's actually a great resource. It's just like it's so hard, because like you spend like hours trying to figure out like the algorithm of TikTok, and then TikTok changes it on you, and your video gets 2 likes. It's like, oh my gosh. It's just frustrating. Like, of course, I'm grateful to be able to have access to a tool like that, but it kind of annoys me sometimes. But I do have people that help out with my social media. But if there's ever a day where I like don't post anything, I probably was like, I don't know, like just like frustrated, and I was just like, you know what, I don't need to post anything today. But yes, oh my gosh, I can't even speak, I'm sorry. I just announced on my Instagram today that I am releasing my acoustic version tonight. Well, technically tomorrow, but tonight at 12 a.m., which is pretty exciting. It was kind of like a on the whim thing, but I'm really excited about it, because I've never released an acoustic version of a song like this before, so.
Well, I mean, my goodness, you already have 13,000 plus streams on this song alone, and it's only been out for a short time. So people are loving it, not just me and not just you and not just your parents, but there's other people out there in the world that are digging this song. Yeah, the hook, if you're going to break my heart, you better break it fast. Oh my goodness. I know I do it no justice, but it's an earworm. It gets stuck in my head. And I realize that the subject matter, it's smart. It's real smart. And you've already explained, that it's from the other side. But if you're going to do it, rip it off like a Band-Aid. Just do it. Okay.
Thank you.
Your relationship right now is your music, and you can date after you're married when you're 30 plus.
I am not in a relationship right now, and I am enjoying not being in one.
Yes, boys are yucky.
I can't. I'm also an only child, so I need like my space. Like, I don't know. So I'm currently not dating anyone. Kind of just chilling.
Good. Boys are yucky. Boys are yucky.
Yeah.
Stay in school.
They are very
yucky. Keep focused on your career. Stay in school. All that.
Yes.
All right.
Never let anyone hurt you.
All right then. Let's close this thing up. Land this plane, as it were. You've already given a lot of shout outs to people. If there's any other shout outs you want to give as we wind this thing down.
My mom.
Yeah. She's a goodie. All right. I'm glad that we're speaking again. As I remember the last time I said, I hope we talk again over the years. And here it is, over the years. And once again, that's my wish as time progresses, as you release more things. Also, tell people how to get a hold of you. I'm going to put all your links in the show notes, but what's the best way to get a hold of you? And if they slide into your DMs, business only, what do you want them to talk about?
Well, you can check out all my social media: Facebook at Alyssa Marie Coon Music, Instagram and Twitter at Alyssa Marie Coon. And I don't know, if you think of a song you want me to cover, if you want to ask any questions, or just, hit me up, give me some feedback or anything, just DM me on Instagram, Messenger, or Twitter. Yeah.
All right, let's finish this thing off with last words for the people. Could be words to live by, something you heard a long time ago, or whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Alyssa Marie Coon. Let me try that again. Alyssa Marie Coon. Last words for the people.
I can't think of anything. Do what makes you happy.
Well, there you have it, party people. Alyssa Marie Coon. So nice catching up. What a sweet, sweet young lady. Oh, my goodness. Nothing but great things happening for her. And I see nothing but great things happening for her in the future. She just keeps going. She's keep chugging along, getting that music out there, writing about relationships and whatnot, and getting, having stuff that's dear to her heart. You never know where the muse is going to have, and she's open to collaborations as well. My goodness, the lovely ladies from Steel Ivory are working hand in hand with her as well, and she's got plenty of folks all over the eastern seaboard, between Orlando and Nashville and where she lives there in the West Palm Beach area. She's got people that she's collaborating with. She's working well with others, and she's got her own little studio at the house. Very creative and very resourceful young lady. And she's going to study the music business. Yes, if you're going to get into this entertainment business, learn the business so nobody takes advantage of you. Learn how to count that money and learn where that money is at. Because after all, we need to make a living, need to keep a roof over your heads. You don't want to be one of those people that gets, well, figuratively speaking, eaten alive by the music business. So, keep a good head on your shoulders. And I see, Alyssa Marie Coon, you have a good head on your shoulders. And between your mom and dad, Randy and Jill helping you out along the way, Jill as your momager. That's fantastic. You keep going the way you're going. You're going to go far. You're going to do well, like your hero, Taylor Swift, Tay-Tay. I believe that because I'm a believer. All right. Thank you so much once again, Alyssa Marie Coon, for being on the program. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Now, if you, yes, you, my loyal listener, if you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email keysdan@aol.com. That's it for me. It's keysdan from radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.